Hi everyone, Dr. Nemechek here again. And I'm going to touch on a particular element that's causing a lot of inflammation in people, especially in diabetics. Now this is a sheet you've probably seen me refer to before, but what's going on in the general population is we have this chronic inflammatory state. I say chronic chemical or chronic metabolic inflammation. Some people are using a term inflammaging. But basically, this is the driver for most of all the disease you're seeing in people out there. And so this inflammation, insulin resistance, heart disease, strokes, autoimmune disorders, 85% of cancers, like colon cancer, breast cancer won't happen if you've got chronic inflammation. Heart disease over here, it doesn't start with cholesterol, it starts with inflammation and so forth. Now, on the top end, we've looked at this before. We've got leaky gut issues I talk a lot about. We've talked about vagus nerve issues I've talked about. Over here is overnutrition. This is not about being heavy. This is about getting too many particular nutrients. I've talked about the vegetable oils with their high content of linoleic acid and so forth. And today we're going to focus on AGEs, or Advanced Glycation End Products. Okay, what are these things? AGEs. These are abnormal molecules that occur when you cook your food. This slide shows they are more and more becoming connected with a wide variety of inflammatory problems. So, in terms of infertility in women, infertility in men, big one, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, atherosclerosis, that's strokes and heart attacks, type 2 diabetes, osteoarthritis, many forms of cancer, and a biggie is diabetes mellitus. This says gestational, but just type 2 diabetes in general. AGEs are formed when you have sugars and amino acids from protein heated up at high temperatures or dry temperatures, dry environment, high and dry, and a chemical reaction occurs. So at lower temperatures, or if these things are, say, raw, these things are perfectly harmless. But when you start cooking them up at a higher and higher temperature, the amino acids in the sugar and the sugars will fuse together, and it's a thing called a Maillard reaction, and they form these abnormal molecules. And these molecules are really about as foreign to your body as plastic, okay? And they are substantially inflammatory. They cause lots of inflammation. Now, this is a graphic from a little paper that we're going to include in the comment section. And it shows here, so amino acids is what's in the protein, glucose. You go through these reactions and you can develop a wide range of these abnormal and toxic molecules in the body. Fructose is another one, a biggie, that can go through a different pathway. And then you can have, fats that are, peroxidation is when fats are deteriorating, being exposed to oxygen. And that can cause AGEs. Again, highly, highly inflammatory. It's the inflammation that drives diabetes, heart disease, cancer. It's a big deal, and it's coming from your food and how you cook your food. All right? So, look at this next slide. So cooking food, so frying or oven cooking your food as the highest, so it's in that oven, it's high temperatures, dry climate, very high levels of AGEs, okay? So we're talking about, or even like barbecue, smoked foods, roasting, braising steaks in the oven and so forth. Then you have the deep fryers. This is in your restaurants. And as they heat up those oils and you keep reheating that, they're showing that the oil and the deep fat fryers in restaurants have super high levels of AGEs in them. Here we have now grilling and broiling. I have here it's a little less than the oven frying. Then we start getting less with roasting, microwave cooking, pressure cooking. So pressure cooker, right? It has steam in there. A lot of people are using these dry cookers. I would put them way down here in this kind of dangerous category. Then you go up even less. Boiling, poaching, steaming, all these moisture. Sous vide is a method of cooking food in pouches. And then raw foods have the least. Okay? And you could say more, cooking at home, eating out, processed foods. Okay? And you'll have much less AGEs in your diet. Now, reducing your AGE intake has a wide range of positive benefits in people. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can measure inflammation, and it'll have a big drop in inflammation. It can even drop the blood sugar levels in diabetics. And then last, here's a just list of methods to lower your AGEs. As I said, low temperatures, high moisture. Okay? Lots of extra virgin olive oil. Get your Nemechek Gold. It has high phenol levels, which are protective against AGEs. Mediterranean diet has a low AGE diet because there's a lot of vegetables and raw vegetables and things like that in there. Interestingly, marinating your meat with lemon or vinegar ahead of time will lower the AGE content when you cook it. Okay, so marinades need to be acidic, basically. So I touched on here high phenolic containing foods. That's the olive oil, but that's part of the Mediterranean diet with some of the berries and other foods that they might eat, the nuts. Seasonings, believe it or not, seasoning your food lowers the AGE content. Doing things like intermittent fast. Now, when most people are talking about intermittent fast, they're saying, I don't eat till noon. That's technically, even though everybody calls it fasting, it's technically time-restricted feeding. That's what that's called. Intermittent fast is where, say, 1 day a week, you only have 500 calories. That is a way to purge your body of a lot of AGEs. Minimize high fructose corny syrup, high fructose corn syrup, and then avoiding processed foods. All of these are shown to substantially lower AGEs and can lower your blood sugars, can improve your arthritis, will lower your risk of things like cataract formation, heart disease, and so forth. So, the old adage is, you are what you eat. Well, your illness is what you eat. And so you can make a big difference by changing your food around here. And I'll put this link of this article I had. It was a nice article discussing everything in the comment section. Other than that, everybody have a great day.